Hello again, welcome to the channel. That's where we'll be going as well tomorrow, hopefully, out quite some way into the English Channel. The time of year, it's just after Christmas, a little bit early some would say for trying the wrecks, which is what we're going to be doing, but we're going to give them a go anyway. So what I thought I'd do is give you a little run through of what I'm going to be using out on those wrecks tomorrow. First and foremost, now you can use all manner of different kit. I'm not telling anyone what to use, I'm just showing you what I use. Now, excuse me to reach over and grab something. Now, the booms, and there are many of them, vary. Now, I suppose most people have seen this type. Line feeds through there, comes out there, weight goes on there, swivel, and you trace. Best thing I think personally I could do with that is that I don't like them. They tangle, they bend. I personally don't like them. So, what do I like? Now, I've been using these for some time now. The one that hasn't got any line attached to it already, but I use these. Now, I'm not going to say the make of them, they're just like a wire, stiff wire boom. Weight directly attaches there. I tie my line straight to that point, which is braid. I don't use a leader. I have to check that braid regularly when it comes up in case it's hit the wreck and got a little bit of abrasion on it, and if so I'll cut 6 foot off it or whatever is required. Nothing wrong with using a leader, most people probably do, but just another knot to go, and I've just found that I don't really need to use it, and the trace is obviously tied to that end. So the trace material for me is, probably seen that, I like it, it's a good line that is. Now what I use is a span of that, so by a span what I would say is literally I take the end and I open it right out as far as I can. Give myself another foot. So what's that, 6 foot, 7 foot? I don't like using any more than that. I don't find it necessary to. So literally, you kind of swivel onto that and it will connect to that end. I'll put the snap link on there actually. It makes it very easy to change traces. And then our snap link connects to the swivel. Lures, there are many and varied, and you can use whatever you choose. I'll tell you what I like a lot, the good old fashioned, tried and tested sidewinder. Now, colours, that's a popular colour, that works a treat, that does. Pollock, cod, they like it. Often you've got a little bit of plastic on there to protect the hook point. Remember to take that off. You won't be the first person that's forgotten that, I can assure you, myself included. Sizes, now that can be important. That can be as important as colours, because going through the colours, there's every shade you can think of. Pinks, blue and whites, solid blacks. I find that if the fish are feeding, they all work, but what you do have to sometimes change is the size of the lure. So, you know, that'll be a 4-inch lure, what they call. Just double check on that. So that's a 25 gram. Pretty sure that's a 4-inch lure. It doesn't say that's 6-inch actually. So done myself out of a couple of inches there. So that's a 6-inch. The 4-inch then is probably got one around here somewhere. It's not easily coming to hand, but there we go. There we go. I've got one, and that is, yeah, this is the 4-inch lure. These will cost you a fortune. They're not cheap, unfortunately, and you will go through a lot. So if you're a little bit tight, reckon ain't for you, because man alive, you will, if you're doing it right, you will lose a few. So there you go. So size of the lure actually can be quite important. Some days you can drag that over a wreck, 5-6 drifts, nothing. Drag that size over and whap, they'll hit it first time. So that's quite important. The other thing that I find very important is what weight you use to take the lure down. It's a steady drop. Obviously you don't want tangles. If the lure's tangled, the action isn't right and you won't catch. Those fish know. What I don't like using are these. Anything with a flat edge on it, I don't like that. Now, where we're going to be going tomorrow is about 200 foot of water, between 170, 200 foot, 220 in some spots, depending on which wreck you hit. This one, that's fine. Cannonball, that'll take you down there. Now, I find about a 10 ounce weight tends to be ideal for where we're going to go tomorrow. The weight I do prefer, though, just personal preference, is that one. That one seems to me, along with that that boom, and as I say, literally so simple, just, he says, making a hash of it, but it is simple. Literally, weight goes on there, and there we go. I find that takes that down to that 200 foot depth very, very nicely. Get not many tangles at all. So a couple of other things I might show you. You don't necessarily have to use those type of lures. You can use something like this. There we go. Now that, made by some boys on the Isle of Wight. It's just a heavy jig head there. And I tie my line directly to that. You can put a swivel on there if you want, another snap link. I haven't found it's made much difference either way. And what you do is, as you're heading towards that wreck, as you're drifting towards it, you cast that towards the wreck. And then hopefully by the time that's gone down and hit the bottom, you're sort of over the top of the wreck, and then you're working that lure back up. On that subject, you can get hit on the way down. That's quite exciting actually, when you're dropping steadily and all of a sudden it goes loose before you've hit the bottom, and that's where something's hit that lure as it's working its way down. If you hit the bottom, what I tend to do is take a couple of, engage that reel and take a couple of quick turns, because I want it up and away from any wreckage or anything that's going to tangle in. And then it's up to you how fast you retrieve. Obviously that will depend on the reel you've got. But on certain days it can be a slow retrieve, it can be a slightly fast retrieve. You have to work that out yourself depending on the wreck you're on, what the fish are doing, whether they're tight to the wreck, whether they're mid-water. You know, you have to work that out. So it's very important. This is a really good tip if you first start wrecking. You'll do it. I think I've done it. When you drop down, you start winding out, you feel a pluck. The temptation is to lift the rod. No, don't do that. Just carry on winding. Don't change the speed. Sometimes they'll engulf it and the rod will heave over and they'll be hooked. Other times they're just plucking on the tail. Carry on winding, the same speed in which you're doing. And what often happens is you'll wind up another maybe 10, 15 turns and they'll hit it, because they're following it up, they're following that lure up. So yeah, don't try snatching it, just keep winding. How far do you wind up? Again, that all depends on how far you want to. I mean, I'll tell you what happened to me more than one occasion. I've drifted over the wreck, so I'm well behind it, so I'm reeling really fast to get up so I can go around for another drift. Halfway up, I've had a massive hit, wallop. So that fish has obviously come off of that wreck, is following that lure, and sometimes that's halfway up. It's 100 foot that fish has come up, and I'm reeling for England. And it has hit it like a train. So there's no tried and tested speeds or distance in which you wind from the wreck. It's all sort of trial and error, really. So yeah, so with a bit of luck, we'll be out tomorrow, and excuse me. Wet my whistle. Yeah, with a bit of luck we'll be out tomorrow, and I can show you a few techniques on how we're fishing those wrecks, how we line up on them, and all sorts. So yeah, wish me luck, and hopefully the second part of this film is what I think everyone wants to see, really, don't they, when they turn on, is some fish. So yeah, fingers crossed. Right, we're on the first wreck. We've had maybe a dozen drifts and we've had 2 smaller pollock. This one feels slightly better. And I swapped my lure over to a rhubarb and custard 6-inch one. I was using a pink one and I did have 1 small pollock on it. Tim, who's kindly holding the camera there, he caught that a slightly bigger one on a rhubarb and custard. But this fish feels slightly better. And it certainly had a few dives. And as you can see, it's a stunning day, absolutely stunning day. What a beautiful setting. And hopefully I'll show you this fish if he doesn't come off, because it's not guaranteed just because you've hooked them. Here we go, and here comes, and that looks like a reasonable fish to me. Do you know what, I'm going to risk it and lift it in. That is a very nice fish actually, boys. Let's have a risk here and get him up. Oh yes please. He will do.
Went off, won't he?
No, it's not off, it's still filming. Just hold it so if you think you're holding it straight, that's it, that's perfect. And there you go, gentlemen and ladies. How about that? How about that? Lovely. Little down his chops there. That'll do, won't it? A few more of them. Very, very nice indeed. Okay, so just spinning around now for another drift. So I'm not sure if you can see my plotter, but you'll see a couple of the previous drift lines. So just spin the boat around and head up tide of the wreck. And incidentally, if you look at my sounder there, if I just go and hit a bit of the start of the, or the end of the wreck I should say, obviously it depends whether you're drifting north to south or east to west on what is the first part of the wreck, but in this particular instance we're drifting east to west. Speed up a touch more. Okay, so I'm just heading up side of the wreck, and when I get into the position I want to be in, I'll just face the boat around, cut the engine like so, just face that outboard around and straighten it up. And we're just up tide of the wreck now, so you'll see the rig I showed you yesterday, and there you have it. So it's that wire boom. There's a 6-inch rhubarb and custard there, so I'll just lay that in the water nicely so there's no tangles. Just have a look at the lure there, and then literally nice controlled drop, and I'll hold on to that line just so I can feel that hit the bottom, and then I'll engage that reel and take a couple of quick turns just to get it off the bottom, because unfortunately if you don't, then you'll get what happened to Paul Tim here a couple of times already, and that is he's been into that wreck. But then that's an occupational hazard of wreck fishing. You cannot odds that. If you're fishing properly, then you've got to be down by the wreck to start winding up, and unfortunately it's just the way of the world. There's a lot of people's old rigs and commercial netting adorning that wreck. There you go, so a couple of quick turns, so I'm off the bottom, and then it's just steady retrieve. Steady retrieve. I'll have a look and see if there's any wreck showing, and in fact if you can see that, you can just about see the start of the wreck on the sounder there. And as I said yesterday, how many turns you take is up to you, but we've hit fish now on a couple of turns, and we've hit fish on 6 turns was one of them I had. So I'll keep the camera running. We're not in the middle of the wreck yet, but that's where they've been showing. So I'll keep that camera going just in case we hit into a fish. But it's early season, very early season. In fact, there's so far we've seen no other boats out here whatsoever. Not small boats or commercial boats, or charter boats I should say, that are fishing the wrecks. Plenty of big commercials dragging either side of all these wrecks out here, which yeah, well, that is what it is, I'm afraid. Not good. Certainly not going to help us. But that said, they can't drag completely over the wreck, which is where we have a benefit. So drop to the bottom. Let's feel that hit the bottom any second there. It has. A couple of quick turns and then slow. That retrieved down. I just felt a pluck straight away then. That wasn't the wreck, that was a fish. Definitely plucked. So I'm keeping going. I'll keep going, same speed, don't stop it. He might come back. And in this instance, he hasn't yet. A few more turns. Okay, back down. And that basically is what we do. I may tie one of those lures I showed you and cast up tied into the wreck at some stage today, just to show you that. But I'll have a look and see. There we go, on the bottom, a couple of quick turns out of it, and then steady retrieve. This speed for this reel, this is a Saragossa 10,000, is what's had the hit so far, so I'm not going to change that because the tide's about the same. A little bit freshening that breeze a touch, but I mean, nothing to worry about. You can see looking around, it's very, very nice out here. Now let's have a look where we are on that wreck. Yeah, we've just missed the edge of it, so we'll pull up now and have another run round. Put some sound over that.
That fish was a lot off the wreck as well.
Was it really?
A few turns out, yeah.
The bigger one?
Bear in mind, I'm using a multiplier now.
Yeah, that does make a difference.
Is that a tug?
100%. Right, bring on up. And there we go, double it. Tim's in, I'm in. Oh, that feels better. That feels somewhat better. How's your Tim? Feels like a decent one?
Yeah, he's fucking. There we go.
Yeah.
There he goes. You don't like it?
No, they don't. They tend not to like it much, but hey ho.
Diving.
Oh yeah, I've got the same as well. This feels slightly better than the last one, which is
which is nice.
I haven't got so much drag on mine, Wayne, so I'll get mine off first, then play yours a bit more.
Well, I'll play it just as I normally do, and whoever comes up first. It's not a race, that's for sure.
Always a race.
There we go. But that's good. I mean, funny enough, I just said to Tim, I nailed that drift line smack over where we had the last take, and they took there again. Oh, nice. Very nice. Do love it. They do crash dive nicely, these pollock, and they should be in pretty prime condition this time of year. Excuse the radio noise. Don't want to listen to them commercials talking, do we? So hopefully you'll see both of these fish. Be nice, wouldn't it? Feels like a reasonable fish though, I will say that. Very nice. Yeah, oh, I feel like we're tangled, Tim. 100% tangled. So they've both gone, that's not a good sign, but...
There's mine.
Alright. There we go. So there's not one nice fish, we'll have him in. Okay, yeah, and if you just take that lead off, Tim. So we're going to show you this, warts and all. This is what can occur. And they couldn't do a lot about it because the two fish there were... Oh, right, I'm going to do well to get this one in.
Weight's off.
Okay, can you...
Right, let's see where I am. Hang on. Wayne, let me just cut the trace. Do that.
That would be a good idea because I'm going to lose my fish otherwise. Oh, he's doing a little bit of a crash dive.
Hang on. If I cut my trace and pull that...
Yeah. Well, you're better off cutting it here, but...
No, I'll cut it here.
Okay, well...
There you go.
Alright.
Put it straight through here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, though. It wasn't an easy pull. Otherwise, whoa, she's still on there anyway, which is a good sign. There we go, so that's that.
There's my fish here.
And that looks a very nice fish too, Tim, well done. So if you get him out that net quick as you can, and hopefully we'll get this one in. And just shows that you can get a bit of a cluster and hopefully sort it. My fish isn't in the net yet. And he's still kicking a bit.
Never lost him.
Well, that's one we haven't lost, but this one isn't aboard yet. So, and he's still kicking and crashing.
You are milking it.
You think I'm milking it?
We'll soon see when it comes out the line along.
No.
Big boy.
No, I'm just saying.
No colour yet.
No, well, he crashed a few times. Done a bit of a dive. But as you can see, reckon it's quite a lot of hard work, but the excitement can be well worth it. Here's the fish, here's colour, and here's colour.
Oh, nice.
And that to me, Tim, please get him in the net, because that to me looks like an absolute belting pollock. Oh, well, yes, please.
Well done, one.
Thank you very much. Right, I'll let my mate get the fish out. Oh wow, now that, woo, that people, oh my goodness, that, that is a ka-chunk of a fish. What an absolute beauty. Look at that.
Bear in mind, our mates were here the other day and caught nothing, and had one 2-pounder.
Well, as Tim's just said then, because I've took the other mic off, beautifully hooked that fish. Let me get this hook out. They have got teeth, pollock, so I'm going to be a little bit careful here, but we'll show these fish alongside each other because they are two lovely fish. Right, let's get the T-bar. There we go. Oh, that's that out.
Hang on to get this one as well, the T-bar.
Right, I'll put him on deck. That's a cracker, Tim.
Yeah.
That's an absolute cracker. I wanted to
Just get the T-bar on that.
Can't see much what I'm doing there, but
It's just...
yeah, I'll do my best.
Do you want to hold the fish as well?
No, because I'm going to have to do the push-pull like that, which works.
There you go.
Oh yes, please, sir. Now look at them. Whoa, two cool chunkers.
Look at the marks where things have had a go.
Yeah, there's some
And we
marks on
didn't
there.
lose it on a big fish like that. I'm going to cut my line.
Well, I'll tell you what. Quick washing the hands. Now, man alive.
Makes the day worthwhile, doesn't it, mate?
Well,
You know what the moral of the story is? Don't listen to fucking...
no swearing.
Yeah, don't listen. Don't listen to...
See, Tim, just to get Tim to face us in a second there, after he's rummaged in his box. Right now, Tim will tell you, 2 days ago, our friends came here and fished these wrecks for one 4-pound pollock.
Yep. £3.
Oh, was it £3? I've did him a favour there with an extra £1. And man alive.
Told us we shouldn't be bothering, it's too early.
Well, that's what comes of doing a bit of a recce and a bit of a risk.
Also told Wayne to get me the catch, because he wouldn't hear the end of it. Well, trust me, he ain't going to hear the end of it.
Anyway, boys, we'll have another picture of this quick. Whoop, whoop. Ah, fabulous. There you go, Tim changed his lure to a nice blue one there, and once that fish has calmed down a touch,
Take him out, nicely lipped.
there you go, beautiful.
There you go, normally used for bass, but as you can tell, sidewinders.
And there you have it. Very nice pollock too.
Nice eating.
Well done, Tim.
Go on then, have a look and see how it weighs.
You're filming now, you've got zero, that film the scales.
We are filming, yes. So basically, we have got 0.0, and these are calibrated scales.
There you go.
So we're going to put the pollock on, best one of the day, and let's have that then for £17.6, people. There we go, £17.6.
Is records up there?
Have it. God be pleased with that. Well, I hope you enjoyed that film. We enjoyed the day. Lovely, flat, calm. I only ever go out to those wrecks because they're a fair way out on absolutely nailed on good forecasts. It's too far to go to get beaten up, that's for sure, but brilliant conditions. Fishing weren't bad. We only hit the one wreck and used those techniques I showed you earlier in the film, and I think you can agree they paid off with certainly for me, with a nice PB. Really happy with that. And also we got some nice fillets there. Some really lovely fillets of pollock, and when they're fresh like that off the wreck, I think they're lovely to eat. Really nice. So we'll have a few meals out of them, and I really hope you enjoyed the film. As I said, if you liked it and you want to see some more, let me know, and I'll keep churning them out if I can. So best of luck, tight lines, and hopefully see you next time.